the Philadelphia Eagles just lost their premier pass rusher to a massive $120 million bag in Carolina, and Howie Roseman didn't even blink. Let me tell you why everybody is panicking right now, because Jaelan Phillips is packing his bags. But before you go burning down the NovaCare complex, you need to see the math. Because letting Phillips walk out the door might have just saved the most destructive force on the Eagles defense. Did Howie just fumble the pass rush, or did he just execute a masterclass in cap gymnastics? Let's get it mixing. What's up, Mafia? So, free agency is here, and the moves have already begun to affect the Birds. And to understand this massive chess move, you have to look back at the move that was made on Saturday. The Eagles locked Jordan Davis into a historic 3-year, $78 million contract extension. That's $26 million a year for a nose tackle. Now, half the fan base loved it, and the other fan base thought that we overpay. They said that's too much to pay a guy who doesn't play over 90% of the snaps. But this tells you exactly what the front office values. They want to be unmovable up the middle. They want to crush the run and force the team to be one-dimensional. But here's the reality to the NFL salary cap. When you pay an interior lineman $26 million a year, that money has to come from somewhere else, and we can't pay everybody. Which leads us right into the bombshell that dropped this morning. Jaelan Phillips is gone.
God damn it!
He just signed a 4-year deal for $120 million with the Carolina Panthers. That's $30 million a year for an edge rusher. So let that sink in. $30 million a year. And a lot of people, myself included, were saying Howie needs to pay the man. But let's be real for a second. If you pay Jordan Davis $26 million, and you pay Jaelan Phillips $30 million, that's $56 million that you have tied up to just 2 guys on the line. And we have other positions that we need to fill, and that includes the offensive side. Howie looked at that $30 million price tag and said, respectively, we're out. And while it does hurt that we have to lose somebody so talented and so in the prime of his career, it's a necessary sacrifice for what's to come. And this is where the genius of letting Phillips walk begins to shine. Because now all eyes are on number 98, Jalen Carter. Over the past few weeks, the rumor mill has been going crazy. There were rumors stating that the Eagles were taking phone calls for trading Jalen Carter. And why is that, you may ask? That's because other teams knew the Eagles were strapped for cash and we couldn't pay Davis, Carter, and Phillips. But now with Phillips being gone and not eating up to $30 million a year, the math suddenly works. Think about it. Keeping Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter for the next 5 years to terrorize the NFC. That idea now doesn't spell financial turmoil. You can pay Davis his money, let the edge rusher walk, and still have the cap flexibility to hand Jalen Carter the big payday that he's going to demand. You trade the pressure from the edge for interior dominance. And yes, it is a shift in philosophy. But if Carter plays up to his all-pro potential, no one is stepping up in the pocket against us anyway. But obviously you can't play the game without edge rushers. So here's the plan when we pivot. Enter Jonathan Greenard. Greenard has been in the plans just in case Phillips decided not to sign. So the backup plan now may be the main target. The Minnesota Vikings are desperate to clear his $12 million cap hit. And reports are stating that the Eagles may send a second-day draft pick to get him in midnight green. But let's do a quick scouting report on Greenard. Is he as good as Jaelan Phillips? In a way, yes. He doesn't have that elite bend-the-corner twitch, but what he does have is a violent first punch, a relentless motor, and the ability to set the edge hard against the rush. But most importantly, he'll cost less than half than what Phillips got in Carolina. You bring in Greenard to do the dirty work on the outside, and you let Carter and Davis feast on the inside. And that is how you build a sustainable defense without destroying your salary cap. Carolina just made Phillips one of the highest paid edge rushers in football, and Philadelphia chose financial discipline to save the interior. But I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you think. Do you respect the discipline of Howie Roseman for letting Jaelan Phillips walk, signing Davis, and making Jalen Carter our next priority? Or do you think that we let a Super Bowl caliber edge walk out of the building when we should have offered him a higher contract? Drop it in the comment section and let me know. This offseason is turning into a chess match, and Howie Roseman is playing the long game. And while yes, a lot of us may be disappointed in the Phillips decision, I'm sure another big move is on the way. And when that move comes, I'll be here ready to talk to you all and break it down. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out so that the algorithm shows this to more Eagles fans. And subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Because if any trades go down, I'll be dropping a video immediately. So once again, I've been Brother Shy, and this has been the Midnight Green Mafia.